It is so windy this morning. In an attempt to flee from the late summer smoke and heat of Central Oregon, I decided to head north to Mount Hood this week, where I would spend 3 days hiking over 40 miles and gaining nearly 11,000 feet of elevation through the wilderness around its base on the Timberline Trail. This trail is known for its ruggedness, with high-flow water crossings and numerous blowdowns, and I was sure that it would prove challenging to Tara and I. And I was right. So we just made it to mile 3.7, almost 4, and the Zigzag River, which is our first major crossing. And I know that this is going to be one of the more moderate rivers, but if this is any indication of how it's going to go, I'm really looking forward to it. We're gonna have a quick snack, rest up, fill up our waters, and get back on trail. We're making good time. We've only been out here for like an hour and 40 minutes, so much faster than I thought we were gonna be going, which is not usually how this works. This first section of trail was lush, ripe with wildflower meadows, shade, and icy cold water sources. These first few miles were by far the most comfortable travel that we would enjoy over the 3 days. You're okay. It's a nice mountain. Today was probably one of the hardest days I've had on trail. It was mentally and physically taxing, and I don't know if it was because I was constantly thinking about and concerned about Tara. I don't know if it was the heat. I don't know if it was the fact that I was carrying like a 45-pound pack, which is almost double what I normally carry, considering all of her stuff and the water we had to carry. But that was a lot, and not in a bad way necessarily, but just I don't think I was prepared mentally for what we just did. Not to mention the fact that we were only going to go to like 12 or 13 miles and we ended up going to like 15 or 16. I still haven't checked. Just because we needed water and we needed a campsite. I can't just fill up a water bottle and call that good when I have her. We need a lot of water, especially to make dinner. So yeah, it was just a lot harder of a day than I thought it was going to be. And so now that we're back at camp, I'm kind of just ready to shut my brain off, make some food, and cuddle with Tara and go to sleep. Potatoes in hand, I peered outside and suddenly realized that we were about to be in for a long night. Well, I didn't know that it was possible to wake up dirtier than when you went to bed. Last night was pretty rough. The wind started up as we were finishing dinner and getting ready for bed. and then it just got worse. You can see my face is just wiped out, and I looked at my little SOS device. It said wind was 25 miles an hour, which normally wouldn't be too bad, but it was picking up dust and just spewing it into our tent. Like, this is the result. Before we even got on trail, I knew that this day was going to be the most difficult of the 3. From blowdowns blocking the trail to exposure through long burn sections and the infamous Elliott water crossing, I was nervous. Our progress was slow, and my focus shifted from capturing the trip to making sure that Tara was okay. It's not quite as far as we were hoping to get today, but I said it before and I'll say it again. Hiking with a dog is at the dog's pace. She had started to kind of slow down at the end, just like kind of looking at me like, are we done yet? Didn't really want to drink any water. And I could just tell that she was getting really tired. So decided to call it, and it's probably a good thing because unless we'd hiked another like mile and a half, which at the pace we were going was going to take quite a while, we were going to be pretty far from a water source. Now, we're not right next to one, but we're about a quarter of a mile. So before the sun goes down tonight, I think we're gonna go back down and actually get more water. Wellness check, I'm doing well. I'm tired. Today was quite the day. The water crossing you guys did not see was pretty intense, and emotionally, I think I was just really stressed out for Tara. She did great. It went just fine, but nonetheless, it really zapped me. Not to mention all of the exposure through that section in kind of the heat of the day, and all of the blowdown that we had to navigate, which you guys saw earlier. So it just was a tough day overall. And even though it was shorter than yesterday, I'm definitely more tired and ready for this to kind of be over. The fact that these backpacker meals take 20 minutes to heat up or like rehydrate, it's a crime. I always forget not to put the whole hot packet in. It's a little spicy, but always good. Good morning from almost the top of the trail. That's the top of Hood right up there. And as you'll see behind me this morning, we were woken up with kind of a rude surprise. Smoke in the sky, which means not only is it going to be hot today like we had planned, but it also means that the air quality is pretty bad. So we're just trying to get out of this super exposed section. As you'll see, There are no trees, which means it's just hot and dry up here. We only have one water source in the next like 5 miles. So we're trying to get there as quickly as we can to camel up, drink as much water as we can, fill up our water, and then keep going to our next crossing. We're gonna get a move on. Tara's got her little booties on right now. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but she is looking dapper in the booties. She's not super stoked at them, but what we're walking on is basically pumice. And if you've ever used a pumice stone on your feet, you know for a while it's nice, it softens them up, but after so long it'll start to cut your feet. So she's gonna be wearing the booties all through this section, and we're gonna get through it as fast as we can.
Things these photographs don't show. When she took my hand, dreaming as we ran, we used the stars in the sky as our map.
You're doing so good. You can get out if you want. Water like this, I always think is like the best water I'm ever gonna drink in my life. Still gotta filter it though, just in case, because we do have mountaineers above us who knows what their bathroom practices are.
Well, we made our way up to the tree line when the cloud fell down and covered us in white.
Good job. Good job. The high that you get to experience, getting to a high point, being almost done, like, this is why I do it. I wish I could put into words how good it feels to pursue things like this that are so hard. We have been struggling out here. And then to have moments of just pure bliss and joy together, nothing replaces this. All right, so we are approaching what's supposed to be our last major creek crossing. Some people behind me, I guess going the opposite way, said that it's something I should be slightly concerned about. So we'll see what they're talking about here in a minute.
Okay, ready? Tara, wait. Okay, wait. Let's go, I got you. There we go.
Just now seeing our first ski lifts, and at first I was like, yes, civilization, we're almost done. But then I was like, oh, civilization, we're almost done. It's good though. This has been a very hard but very good trip, and I'm glad to be ending it on a note where we're still both feeling strong and healthy and wanting to do more. That's where you want to finish it. You don't want to finish it dead tired. You want to finish it wanting to do more. I have never in my life been so happy to finish a trail. What I said earlier about being back to civilization, I'll tell you guys more about what just happened after we're done. But we finished. We can see the trail marker. We're done. Well, I hope the AC is not too loud. We had to cool it down in here a little bit because it is 82 outside down here at the bottom of the mountain. But I just went and got Tara and I a little post-hike treat. She definitely deserves it. And yes, I did get strawberry, so there is no chocolate in this, but good job, baby. Yeah. What do you think? I don't think she's ever had strawberry ice cream before. Oh, there you go. Pretty good. But I didn't just come on here to eat in front of you all. I mainly wanted to just close out what was hands down one of the hardest backpacking trips of my life, which is pretty crazy considering it was only 40 miles and I hiked 500 miles straight last summer. The timberline definitely takes the cake. So you may have noticed that right around mile, I don't know, 35, I kind of stopped recording. And the reason for that is I was really just focused on Tara and I finishing, which I didn't think it was going to be that hard. But at the end, a lot of the water sources we were counting on ended up being either mucky, glacial silt, or just completely dried up, which meant that we nearly ran out of water. In fact, I thought we did run out of water, which scared the heck out of me for at least a mile before I realized we still had a little bit in reserves. She was getting super hot because we were on an exposed ridge. Do you want some more? There you go. We were on a super exposed ridge that was also made of sand. So if you've ever hiked or walked in sand before, you know how much harder that is. So we were stuck on a sandy ridgeline without much water in the heat of the day. Terrible. That was terrible, honestly. And I'll admit, it's the first backpacking trip that I ever cried on. Mostly because I was so worried for Tara, who, again, is a freaking champ. She did fine. She was hot. We stopped at every shade spot, but she made it. We made it to the last river where she laid down for like, I don't even know, a half hour probably, just in the water to cool off. And now we're down at the base. And my mind is spinning when I think about what's happened over the last, not even 72 hours. It's crazy to think that we weren't even gone for 3 whole days. Overall, I would give this trail probably a 6 out of 10. Definitely not my favorite, especially if the Colorado Trail is going to be considered my favorite to this point. I don't know that I would do it again. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't recommend doing it. I think it's a cool trail. I wouldn't bring a dog on it, even though it's dog friendly. The river crossings were a little bit too much, I think, for us. They really pushed us. The heat and just unpredictable nature of the water sources really threw us through a loop. And I also just think that, I don't know, if I'm going to take Tara on a hike, I would prefer to do it in a more shaded, lush environment, just because she's a long-haired dog and it doesn't make sense to take them places that are this warm and exposed. But tonight we're just gonna go rest, drink our root beer, make a good dinner, and get this video ready for you guys later this week. In the meantime, I hope that you all enjoyed coming along for this kind of unusual to my channel video. It's definitely typical of what I like to spend my time doing in the outdoors, but let me know if you guys want to see more like this, and I'll be sure to bring you along next time. All right, I will see you guys next week.